Hey everybody. Let me see something here. Silver key. Yeah, right. Okay, today's the 23rd. So, hi Michael Fontaine. It's good to see you still kicking about and out and about. Um, I did draw some pictures that I'm going to share. I'm going to see if I can go to a better place to watch this in that black screen. This is going to be kind of a mature audience type of a conversation because of the topic that I'm going to touch on. Basically, why I've been on such a long sabbatical. And hey, Patrick, I was hoping you were going to pop on with this the other night, but that's okay. Maybe another time. Her and I ended up sharing what was going on with her and everything took almost the whole night. So it was pretty amazing. So, anyways, but me and you are going to catch up soon. Probably better to have a one-on-one conversation with you, anyways, because of the dynamics of the difference in the situations between each of you. So if that makes sense to you, you're very different personalities, very different experiences, both profound. But you'd be better on with her on a panel show for diversity and to show the difference in each of us and how amazing it is for each of us. But anyway, so tonight I'm going to talk about some stuff that is, people don't like to talk about it. When you're in the community, even of the Christian faith or, faith-based situations, even light workers and BQH practitioners, it's not all sunshine and roses. There is a polar opposite. Now, are we coming out of that age? Yeah, I think we truly are because of the ramp up of how progressively and aggressively we're all going through these different steps, these different stages. And I took off, like I took off with something, and I went out and fought this darn thing. And I drew a picture of it. I was trying to explain it to my husband because he's like, you've been really out of it, for this happened about, I went out twice. There was one time and then it was really, really big that time. And then I took it out a second time and took it out to pasture. And my husband's all getting concerned. Oh my gosh, she's not talking to me and and I'm like, shut up. You want to go fight this darn thing? Go. Help me. Get out here with me, come up to bat. Let's go. Let's get this thing out the door. And then I thought, like, okay, what if, as we're doing BQH healings and things like that, we're sharing energy with other individuals. And what I have found out about these certain anomalies, especially these ones, they don't ask permission. They pretty much are what I would call a lawless group. They do whatever the flip they want. They don't care about the consequences. It's like I don't know, maybe that's their job, is to be little buttheads. And that's a nice way of putting it, because these things are, they're ugly. I mean, I I wouldn't go out to dinner with one of them or anything. This is like, oh my gosh. What I did was I ended up getting sick and tired. I could hear these counsels, like I call them babooning. When somebody is suffering or being tortured or being harmed, you don't want to hear a heavenly host counsel babooning about it. There's only so much banter you want to hear back and forth before you want to see someone with some divine power get their ass up and come in and help. I mean, I'm sorry, but when a situation is like that is happening right on surface top, I don't think they should be discussing it. Actions to me speak louder than words. But then again, we're not helpless, because that's what happened is I just got fed up with them, and I made this little suit-like thing. I call it a suit, but I made a malevolent, benevolent, like a knitting. And I made it look like the Mad Hatter. Or does anybody know Guns N' Roses, the band Guns N' Roses? The guitarist. I can play double guitar. I mean, that guy's like the bomb. And he wears that big black top hat, and he's a tall little statured man. Well, I made it's almost like a netting. And if you're benevolent, you'll get back out of it. But if you're malevolent, you'll get caught up in it. And I just kind of all over the place. And I ran off with this darn thing because I got sick of listening to him argue about it when people need relief from it. And I drew a picture of it. And then there's other ones like there's the mockers that I was dealing with that they like to give you, believe it or not, it's like Shekinah glory on the toilet. I mean, some of this stuff is just so fantastical. It's unbelievable. And every time I went to the restroom, I got haloed. And I got frustrated and annoyed with that. I found that to be a huge insult. And little did I know that there's like 7 different realms and beings and principalities of the underworld that you go through. And I'm naive to all this. I'm kind of just fumbling around and trying to figure out what the heck, is going on. But it really ramped up. I did a BQH session with somebody, and what I found within that person that was causing disease and disharmony in their body was an unfriendly, and they made him mad. I called him Dagon. I'm not sure what his name is, but he had wings. He was a heavenly host. We found out heavenly hosts don't have wings. It was really weird. And that thing got angry with me because I gave it the heave ho out of there. And this being like to cause UTIs in this individual. Now this individual, that being, comes along with a sidekick. I don't know if you've heard of Loki. I think it's Loki, the one that acts like he's a joker, thinks everything's funny. But the sad thing is the stuff he's talking about, or the stuff he's laughing at, isn't funny. It's not funny at all. He's kind of really super duper mean. So then the fight was on. And then when the fight went on, then I got ripped out of my body, and oh my gosh, it just went woo, like a roller coaster, I'm like, excuse me, I don't think you're allowed to do that. Not when I was going to move over to the other one. I don't think you can do that when we're living. I don't think you have the right to come and yank us up out of our bodies and have your way with us. This is just my opinion. I think that's rude. Let's see. I think I need to hang on. How do I go to my video? Oh my God. I am such a rookie, you guys. Oh, this is what happens when you take some time off. Hold on. Let's see. From here, can I go there? The black one? Help. My pros. Where you at? Where's all my professionals? Your channel. Let's see. Will that take me there? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I found it. Yep. Shut that thing up real quick. Okay. It don't even look like I'm tan. It looks like I lost my whole tan. Okay, so I have some pictures I'm going to share with you guys. And then, lo and behold, earlier today, I came across an article, and this was really weird because I drew my picture. I'm not an artist, so don't expect miracles. I'm not Patrick. Not at all. That man can draw. But I came across an article, and it had these same things, and it talks about them, and they're like the heads of these, I don't know, their own council and their own principalities in their own realm. And while I'm going through the stages of going through these different places, they gave a warning dream, and the warning dream was supposed to go to somebody else, but I was the one that got the dream. And he said, hey, have you seen that Michelle chick? If you see her coming through your realm, just try and slide her out real quick because she breaks all of our stuff. I'm like, what do you mean break all your stuff? And then not only that, don't bring me in here. I'm a human being. So if I'm getting taken into some other realm, I'm being taken in there, right, guys? It's not like we ask. We're here. I'm in the same damn place. So if they pulled me into something different, they pulled me in there. I didn't ask to go in there. I didn't want to go in there. I didn't want to get pulled up, and I didn't want to have all that go on either. I mean, It's just wrong. So what should I start with? I think I'll start with the pictures because I'm not gonna stay on as like for a couple hours or nothing. I'm gonna try and share this palatable, um, because we don't like to talk about this stuff. Oh, nobody wants to talk about this side of it. I'm gonna smoke too because I'm not monetized, and this is for mature audiences only, and it's a nerve-wracking thing to talk about. Okay, so we got. Okay, I'm going to start by showing you a picture of this thing that I took out. Now, I want to tell you when I show you this picture, it was a lot bigger than this. This is when I got it to. What I do is I just kept jumping with it until we went to the absolute, and then into oblivion, and from oblivion into non-existence, and from non-existence to cease to exist, and then from cease to exist into never existed, and then from never existed I gave one more whack, and it went poof, and it just vanished. It went to vanishing point. So it was really weird. And then after I came back, I woke up and I was dead tired. I mean, I was exhausted, but I just got sick of waiting for them to pick up and do something about it. And like I said, I just and uh, you know, then I got to see what Earth looks like. And this might trip you out. Now I didn't get it finished colored in, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not an artist. I'm trying to do the best I can. But once I turned around and I looked at it, I just picked. I don't know how I did this, but I picked the whole darn thing up, like from Eris all the way across all those planets and all of the Earths and all of the flat realms. So you know how they say the flat Earth say the Earth is flat, and then others say the Earth is a globe is round. Well, for what I saw, it's both. We have these flat realms that are personal; they're ours, and that's how we travel back and forth. We don't use wings; they can move at the speed of thought. Let's say you got your family or whatever, and you're all on one realm. And those realms can be as big as a paradise, locked up private paradise. So it was pretty shocking when I turned around because I wanted to go back through time to make sure that nobody got left in this mess. Okay, let's see. Here's this little monster. Okay, this is the one that I saw. Let me start that little video clip over for you. Let me see, where did I put it? It should be in the. Okay, if it's right there, hold on. Just give me a second, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna remove that one. Okay, hey. Okay, hold on. There he is. Let's see if he'll go all the way down. See, it had like a bunch of eyeballs, and it had these mouths. I call it a succubus. That's what it reminded me of, was a succubus. And when I got it out, uh, it ended up being two demons and one succubus in the middle, and then it went poof, in the vanishing point. And I had eyeballs all over it. Had these like zooky mouths on. It was disgusting. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen. So I mean, I did the best I can with my with my art, but it had different holes. I mean, it was like shoving them in and shoving them in, and it was coming back out. I mean, it was saying, "Don't take my baby maker. Don't take away our baby maker." I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? That doesn't make no babies. That's disgusting. Anyways, I'll play it one more time for you guys, and just I can't believe I saw that thing, but that's nothing compared to what it looked like at first. See, they actually had one on the other side too. It's really gross. And had a mouth here. I call them mouths, but they're really gross. And then they would come out at the bottom. It's just a gross thing. And like I said, that's the one right when it was about vanishing point. Then it broke into the two, and it broke into three beings, and then poof, it disappeared. But this thing was as big as a skyscraper. I was like, tiny, tiny Michelle. But I just kept hit like tossing it and kept tossing it and kept tossing it until it disappeared. Now, when I came back, I was cleaning up and cleaned up everywhere where the earth and everything was because they're gonna like we're going into something new. So that all has to be cleaned up and done away, and then we're going into something new. Well, I turned around, stupid me, and I looked at the earth because I found Mount Olympus. This is really gonna like startle you. They say it's on Earth somewhere, but it's really I didn't find it on Earth. Um, I was following cables, and boom, there it was, and there was one, two, three, four, five beings up there, and the one was plugged in, and her mouth was there was a metal plate, and her mouth was just, and they looked like marble statues. And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I just broke it, and I put them on separate playpens because I didn't know what to do with them, and took the one that got drilled and carried her to home health care. And then I went back in and tried to look for. Uh, I heard of something going a real like a guttural, help me, like they've been there for a while. And I found this being's spirit on their voice box. It was the weirdest thing, and it was in one of those council rooms that would be considered like the heavenly house. And mm, I just said I don't want to go in there. I don't want no part of that council. I don't want no part of that group because that's a prison, and it's already bad enough with what we got. Top side things look one way, and then as you get deeper and deeper, things change dramatically. Okay, here's this picture of the Earth's. Now you're going to look at it in a two-dimensional, but I want you to realize that it's thick too, and it's gross looking. Let me see if it'll play right. Let me make sure I got the sound off on that one. Oh, I won't bother you. But I didn't get them all colored in. I was working on it. But, these are the chords I was telling you I was following. I would follow, and then bam, that's Mount Olympus. At the bottom, I was like, what the heck? And these are flat realms. These are realms that others had brought in to Earth throughout the time. And this would be like, here's where the heavenly council is, right outside the firmament. Because I'm like, hey, there's a trap at the firmament. What the heck is that? And then there's realms up here, the other parts, because they just got him. And then these would be like your bema seat. Now I only put it in here and a couple others, but it goes all the way through all of these, and then they have councils set up on people's private realms. They've taken over everything. Now, whenever they do, one thing I did notice is like whatever condition they left the place in, they can only replicate. You can't create. So they just kind of cookie cut out. So if Earth has already got all her gold taken from her, she's not gonna have new gold if they replicate it. Does that make sense? Hope I'm not going too fast. And I know this is weird. That's why I'm trying to draw pictures of it to kind of wrap my own mind around what the heck I saw because this wasn't I didn't expect it and just like that thing. I didn't expect it what I saw and it scared the bejeebers out of me. But these are all like Earth like, they all are. I'll play that one more time too, if it'll let me. So this is the outside. I said there's a trap at the firmament. And there's the top side there. There's a and then I mean it's like a spider's nest. See, I made one right there. They're all through all of them. They're all hollowed out. They're hollowed out, and some of them have realms like the mud floods. I saw a school that's underground. It's a big school. You can't get out because it's closed in because they had an event. And they bring everybody underground and then they pop them up again, pop them up, and start all over again. I think that's why when Lemuria when they blew up their place with souls, not from a war, but with putting souls over there and using it for renewable power. They came here. If you look do some, just a little bit of study, I mean, it's in the verbiage. They called Lemuria was called Mu, and then Atlantis. Think about it, Mu. Old MacDonald had a farm. D-I-E-I-O. That's what I always think of. That they turned this place into like a farm, and they really should not have done that. Because then ended up nobody could get out. But I don't know. I would love to hear somebody's input on their experience, what they've seen out there. How does a flat earther come to become a flat earther? Have they been on realms for their entire life? I mean, a realm is flat. They are flat. And the earths are round. So why would we fight over that? Let's not fight over stuff like this, and let's start coming together and find out what the heck is going on. So, okay. Now this this might freak you out a little bit because it did me. And I say I get freaked out, but I go out and fight these stupid things in my sleep, or sometimes when I'm out in my swimming pool, I'll go. And I don't. I am not gonna say I'm not a master. Um, I I am an experiencer just like everybody else, and it's taken me a couple of years, um, which most of you know you haven't really seen me around a whole lot because you know I mean we've been busy, all of us have been busy, busy. Um, but I just don't hear a lot of people talking about the yucky side of it. Let me say hi to you guys. Anyways, now that I got the chat up, I got 5 people. I'm surprised I haven't anybody watching because it's been so long. Okay, now I'm gonna share and read an article to you. I'm gonna let me see, how do I do that? I'm gonna put my avatar up. How do I do that? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so bad. Help me. Here. Oh, what do I do? There it is. Okay. 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 It says Lucifer's name means light bearer. Now I want you to look at the. I wonder if I can make this bigger. How can I make it bigger? Look at that thing. Oh, I wish I could put my thing up there side by side. Look at this thing right here. Look how. I can find that when this article was written. Written. Because I drew mine and I'm slow and I colored it in for you guys. Holy shit. April 29th, 2023. Huh? I'm sorry, March. I'm fine, you guys, really. I'm okay. You can tell I'm not comfortable talking about this stuff. I just don't want it to think, oh, we can go back over there because she's talking about it. Let's go and let's go fight her. I don't want to fight with them anymore. Okay, so that's March 29th. So that's less than a month ago. That's crazy. I mean, it's called the Untold Truth of the Seven Princes of Hell. The Seven Princes of Hell are a collection of fearsome foes spread across various religions and cultures, but they find their origins in the writing of notorious witch hunter Jermaine Bishop Peter Binfield, who he tortured confessions out of supposed witches that turned into what he perceived as the chief villains behind the witchcraft. These seven princes, each one lorded over a specific sin. Each one has made numerous appearances across various religions, texts from the Bible itself to the Book of Tobit. Some started as angels themselves. Most were created by God. And the links to Christianity go even deeper than that. It says they also work their way into literature. This is boring shit. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay, Lucifer's name means light bearer, and this is freaking me out. This is, oh, a baby maker and everything. This is gross. That's what that thing looked like, but it was a succubus. Oh, he's got three faces. Well, there was three of them in there, but they didn't all three pop out to the very end. The two demons and the succubus. Anyways, oh, that's, oh my God. I want to see what you guys think. I'm not an artist, but what, I mean, what do you guys think? Then now look close to my little, let's see if it'll go over top of it. My little monster. Whoa, isn't that trippy? I saw his eyes. And I put that orange and red around him and gray, but he was kind of a grayish, that he had oozy stuff on him, I guess is what we're calling it. Mine's a little more cartoony. It's all in the blue. But see that, that is too weird. But that was from stacking. Stacking, like putting, like somebody having a problem with a spirit making them sick or harming them or whatever. It's like stacking them. Okay. Alrighty, let's go back to this article. Okay, the name Lucifer has many interpretations according to the Encyclopedia, Demons and World Religions and Cultures. For the angel Lucifer was before his attempt go up in heaven. The list means, let's get to the good stuff. Okay. What does this guy do? Sorry, I just found this article and it freaked me out. Let's see. Because that's not Lucifer. Okay, then you got Beelzebub, and he's over the witch trials. Okay, there's so much overlap between the historical accounts of witches and warlocks and the power of demons. Binsfield himself was notorious witch hunter, and he used the confession obtained by torture, which I don't think that would be a good confession. According to, that would make a demon, if you ask me. It would be a demon in the making, because they're being demanding. Okay, according to Puritan Cotton Mather, as well as plot, Oh, here we go. Remember I was telling you about that every time you go to the bathroom, or at least every time I went to the bathroom, it was like an onset. And I was every time I sat down, I felt the glory on my head. It was very insulting. It was, and being a female in the restroom, it's very private. That's the last thing I would ever want. I found it to be pretty insulting towards our Creator, and I was raised Christian, and that is just very insulting. Okay, whatever you flush down the toilet goes to Belphegor. Okay, and one has to be one of the strongest tidbits surrounding the Prince of Hell, the patron prince of sloth, Belphegor, also has a very curious preference in terms of sacrifice. According to various demonic Gregories, Belphegor accepts all human excrement as an offering. For instance, according to the 1818 French by Jacqueline Colin de Plancy, one renders homage to him on the toilet. That's the thing. I'm sorry, I'm just commenting to myself. And one offers him an ennoble residue of one's digestion. In the same notion, repeated with Teresa Baines, where she writes plainly, Belphegor accepts offerings of excrement. Okay, but here's the tidbit about Belphegor that they'll talk about that part, but not this part. What this has to do with the status of the nefarious figurehead of sloth is a bit befuddling, but it does tie conveniently to his frequent representation on the toilet himself. Like one illustration, he appears in the Dictionary Internal, but there are memes galore in modern day depict a goat-haired deity seemingly deep in contemplation on the can. Now, it's going to tell you that now Belphegor. Oh, I think I only read half the article because I read the bottom half, because it talks about that they thought of him as lazy, but what he did was he created and invented gizmos and gadgets to do the work for him. So it wasn't that he was lazy; he was inventing. Anyways, okay, Leviathan is the figurehead of envy. Through her history tracks way back in the Bible, making her a separate entity. Now, Leviathan is a female, and Leviathan is actually known to be the gates of hell. You got to go through Leviathan's mouth. Okay, well, Beelzebub and Lucifer and Satan are and the like are often conflated. Leviathan has been and seemingly always was a separate creature who was quite literally a monster. More specifically, a monster of the sea, mentioned in the Bible as a female counterpart to the behemoth, the male beast of on land. Uh, if you want to get more specific, appearance, Leviathan is a monster female sea creature, 300 miles long, with eyes glowing as brightly as twin suns. But they show her as, okay, that's Osmodeus. He has 3 heads and some wicked powers, it says. Osmodeus is the prince that presides over the sin of lust. He has many interpretations, variations similar to the Dark Prince Brethren. I'm telling you, and then the flies. I don't know. I just don't know what to say about all this. Because I dealt with those guys too. I dealt with Tucker. I don't know. Okay, and Beelzebub is often with Satan and Lucifer, and he's considered like the Lord of the Flies. I'm gonna go through this quickly. And then, of course, you know that Christ warned us himself about mammon. You can't serve mammon and God at the same time. You can't serve your pocket and money and greed. But there is a principality, with the dominion on that. Yeah, right here, God, you can't. Yeah. Okay, and then here we go. We're back to Asmodeus. Asmodeus deposed King Solomon. Asmodeus, isn't he the toilet guy? Hold on. I'm sorry. No, it's Belphegor. Sorry. Asmodeus. Asmodeus almost looks like the guy at the top. Okay, the Talmud brings one of the best stories relating to the 7 princes of hell that occurs in the book of Tobit. It discusses the famous King Solomon, who has all things, asked for God for wisdom. Wisdom or not, Solomon made a bit of an unwise decision with Asmodeus, known in the text in his Hebrew. According to the story, Solomon needed some guidance in the building of the temple, so he took the rabbi's advice and bound some of the demons to find the instructions given by God. I don't think I'd do that. I thought that he bound the demons and he used a ring to make them build the temple, but I don't know. The Bible changes all the time, just like Enoch. Yet I don't know much. Oh, he's a shapeshifter. Ooh. You. And there's Leviathan. If you look at Leviathan, it sees a big ugly monster in its own mouth going into the netherworld. And that looks almost like a creepy elephant. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. I'm back over here to see if anybody's even here still. Did I lose everybody? There's 2. I'm boring as hell, I guess. Okay. Let me go back. Wait. Here we go. There I am. Hi. So, with my drawings, I'm going to finish coloring that one in with the earths. And the earth, it wasn't just like it was flat. It looked like a spider's web, like a bunch of spiders all webbed up in there. It's thick, and it's hard for me. I'm not an artist, and I'm not going to claim to be. I had a hard time, and it took me a long time to draw that little weird thing that I saw. But I wanted to have something to look at to know what the heck it was that I was dealing with. And then I took it out a second time, and it was much smaller. But it just seems like from stacking and inflicting like disease and aches and pains and stuff, that we don't just come up with that stuff on our own. It is, and it's brought to us. Like I said, these things don't ask permission. They're not like the creator. The creator would never break divine law with you, or your sovereign law, or your spiritual laws, or your privacy laws, or your sacred laws, or it's just unheard of. It's unthinkable. So what would they do? What's their biggest weapon? Well, we break all of them, and they know nobody's going to check. How they ever going to find out? What if you were to find out, and you know that you never die? Everybody's waiting to have their books of life opened up. When are those books going to get open? If you don't die, when is your book of life going to get open? This is the Lamb, the Word of God that was slain from the foundation of the earth. Who? Because the pairs were dancing in pairs. They'd be watching over and raising them up, and then they would move and grow, just like how it was growing along. It's just, I don't know. I pondered these things, and I wonder. So then when I talk to people, I'm like, hey, you should open up your book of life. You know what? Just open it up. Let the attorneys take a look and see if anything happened where law was broken. Because how else would they know? If we're all sitting here and we're believing that they're saying our books are going to get opened, but they're never going to get open. And then the deities wonder, how come nobody ever comes back? How come nobody ever takes it home? And they don't know, they can't get out. They're stuck in here. How would they ever find out? Because they don't break divine law. They wouldn't go into your mind. They don't try to micromanage or control you. I call them they because I've got to know them as one being with two consciousness, one male and one female. They're sweethearts. So I'm not going to go against the creator by far, no way. But I just don't understand, how all of a sudden, I'm walking along and then, I lose my daughter. And then I get depressed. And then, now I'm going through all these mean, cruel things. And I can hear them talking. And it's like, whoa, I don't like this very much. It's kind of like, you got to do what you got to do. And they didn't have to physically, I guess. I mean, it wasn't like with my physical strength. It wasn't flesh and blood, so to speak, to deal with them. It was spiritual. Because it did. I'm trying to think. I had a lot of day fights too, because they kept coming in my yard. They kept coming in my house, and they would stand in my trees. And when they stood in my trees, it killed my trees. It killed the branches. It killed the leaves. Killed my grass. So I'd have to run them off. But I don't know what the heck they're doing. Only thing I could think of is when I got pulled up and it went, that I went down under the radar where topsides being watched can be seen. They're not going to openly show themselves there. But I went down under and they declared a war. It was weird. Very weird. And it's very weird that I saw that being. And I took it and ran off with it. And then as you see, I'm kind of I don't know what to say about it because I don't want to scare anybody. The last thing I would want to do is ever scare anybody because there's people, not me. There's other people that are really good at this stuff, and I mean they go in there and tackle them. Like you see the lady and her husband on Amityville Horror. They're real people, and they go in and they handle this kind of business. I wasn't prepared for it, and maybe that's why they thought I thought they were talking about Ezekiel, in the Bible. No, I think they called me Ezekiel because I didn't know what the hell was going on. So, anyways, I wanted to share that with you and some tips on what to do when you come across a situation like that. To just say, one thing is stay calm. I had to stay calm no matter what I was seeing on my walls. The idea that we have privacy. What happened is my eyes more opened up. I got my eyes opened up and I could see things going on in the unseen realm. And I don't mean that I was seeing gingerbread houses and puffy clouds and these floaty little angels. I was seeing what was going on in the invisible realm, trotting around in here with us. And I seen them inside my bedroom in the walls. I seen them put holes, like punch holes in and walk through like a dimensional wall. I guess it would be. I don't know. They're not solid or nothing, but they walk down my master bedroom, bathroom all the time, and right above the television in my master bedroom. And then somebody that walked through the wall in full color. Looks like somebody that I know that's walking the earth, but he has black hair. That this guy called himself. I called him Jasher, and I don't even know who the hell Jasher is. I don't know why I even said that name. I said, Jasher, what are you doing in here? Get out of here. This isn't a good place. And I seen somebody that has the name of Asher, but Asher was a lot smaller than Jasher. Jasher looked more full size, and Asher looked like he was one dimensional, just like lights, like he was flickering out. And then I could tell if they were siphon or vamping. They vamp our divinity and our power, and then our energy, and then eventually life, and then we come back or whatever. So it's not anything to be afraid of because you can't die. Only your body can. Your spirit and your consciousness is divine. You can't not be who you are. Does that make sense? So just remember that. But no, you're not in it alone. If you're seeing some odd things go on, sky phenomena, or you're seeing things that shouldn't be there, it's uh, it's shocking. It is um, shocking, and you can tell. You can always tell when one comes from, like the DT sends one, because they won't come in your house and they won't look in your windows, and they have a whole different demeanor. And animals are not afraid of them. Animals get comfort from them. But these other ones, when they go around, the animals yelp. The little dogs yelp, and they do come in your house. They trump all over the place, and without permission. They need to stay. They need to not tread. Yeah, what's that saying? Don't tread on me. Don't tread on my property. Get out of my house. Um, I've been working on trying to close those doors and trying to figure out who's opening them, so I can close these darn things and get these things out of here. Now they've been clearing up really good, but I've been trying to just jump this whole realm out where I went the first time. And the second time, I went a little further, but I went a different direction. But this time, taking the whole realm, because when you go out that far, this is just, you know, for your own uh, knowledge, and do your own research. Always, always, always do your own. But when we jump out that far, time's different. So where I was gone for a week and a half, apparently it was like 10 trillion years because I went really far out and away with that thing. And then all of a sudden I felt this, ugh. I was going to take a break, so I was tired. Then when I came back, the whole place was tore up again from one stupid little worm. One worm got in, and that one worm was enough. And there was, at that time, there was only 3 people left that were coherent. Everybody else kind of like, I mean, it's awful. It is awful. And I went in to check out what the heck happened in there, and then so weird. And I went out, and there was that council. I called them adjudicators, and I gave some simple instructions to the adjudicators. I was just talking to them, like kind of asking, and then next thing I know, I guess I just turned around and went, wham! Like I closed the books on them because I couldn't believe what they did, and it went back to one long life again. I don't know if you guys knew this, but when we come about and we're danced into existence, you don't die, so you have one long life. So it was mercy to have the mind wipe, in between. So you didn't know what happened in between when we come back in. People talk about being old souls and things like that, and it's just heartbreaking. I can see where that would be merciful to not remember, and then you'd be able to continue on. Or when I came back in, it was 10 trillion years, one long life, and I lost my whole damn family because none of them made it through, and that area got shut down too. The one being had a tiara on, like they were translucent. I don't know why they were invisible. I'm not really sure on that, but they wanted me to open up paradise. I'm like, what? Why would I open up paradise? Anyway, so I went over to the paradise because I couldn't get in, which was a good thing. And I put this canopy over it and locked it. I locked it down. And then I don't know what I did with that being, but they were gone. They were gone because they were part of the problem, not part of the solution. But as soon as that, that tap happened, and closed closed it, everybody that was able to came up healthy and whole. So that's what I saw in the future, and it's beautiful. And we're jumping out to kind of clean things up, and we come back in. Hopefully, we'll pass that wall. I don't want to talk about that wall right now. I'll talk about what that wall that the councils and the judiciaries or whatever ones that sit in these. I won't get into that tonight. But all those realms and all that seat thing that goes through the middle of the earths and stuff, it's a Bema seat, and they have a council in there. But we'll talk about that another time. But I want them to resign because it's not an anointed, appointed. And if they resign out of there, come back and be physical, they have more of a chance of not ending up in that damn wall. I don't want anybody to end up in the wall. And I've been warning them for years now that if the books get closed from the deity, they close the books on it, close the books on somebody, or not on somebody, close the books on a situation. They're going to close the books on it. Anybody that took part in holding mankind down and not letting them know that you have not only you have energy, which is for your life, and then you have a power, okay, and then you have your divinity. So, and then it goes on and on and on from there. And by not letting us know this, it knocks paradise off whack. We're supposed to live in a paradise when we live symbiotically. We all do our own thing by our nature, and then it just happens. But keeping that information from us is cause hardship. So I just because they did it again because that was the third the third one. Well, no, the second one we did when we came back. We came back because we lost too many people and too many volunteers. There's a lot of volunteers in here. So, when the Bible talks about the 144,000 virgins, well, let's not think of them as virgins in the sense of a mankind fleshly way. Let's think of them as virgins as it's their first time here. And they came in from home to help find out what was going on in here, why nobody was coming home. And they're almost like they're babies. They're new. They're new to the group. And so they have come in, but they're armed. And they'll get awakened at the right time to do whatever that it is that they're supposed to do to get the job done, to get the most of us home as possible. Because there's no junk in any of us. Okay. Even if we're on that side and we're led to believe that's what we have to do and that's our principality and that's what we need to, even once I'm dealing with the toilet guy and all that stuff, it's different than what you think. They might not even know any better. They might think that was what they were appointed by somebody who said they were anointed. An example of that is Enoch, seventh from Adam, took a petition on behalf of the fallen angels. Remember, he took it to God, took a petition to God. And God rebuked and said, they're the ones that are supposed to be bringing petitions for you. You're not supposed to be doing it for them. But now, if you look in the Bible, check your Bible out, that Enoch, now the seventh from Adam, he just wrote the petition down. He got his answer in a dream. And I'm like, really? Is that because I got ripped out and I went up there, or what the heck? Because I was always raised to believe that that's what it said. I mean, I know I read it in there that it said Enoch seventh from Adam, and then it said that he walked with God in the cool of the day, and then he was no more because God took him. God took him alive, right? Did you guys remember that in the Bible? Enoch was the first one to go be taken by God home. It's something to think about. But the Bible changed right after I had the incident in my backyard. It was really bizarre. Does anybody have any questions about this weird stuff? I know there's only 2 people here, but I don't care. It's good because I'm talking about something weird that I'm not really that comfortable with, and I shared some pictures that I drew, and I'll color the rest of those earths in too, and try and get a side view of it because it looked like a cobweb. There's a lot of earths in there. We talk about multiverse and things like that, and I have to give credence to that too, because there's a bunch of them. I got my picture right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Sometimes just let me see. So like this is the firmament, and then this is the thing that's hidden. There's council up here, and these are realms, flat realms, and all the way down. These are all flat realms in between, and they're all wired up and plugged in together. I guess that isn't bad. You can see at least you can see the whole thing. Put it away. And then at the bottom here, that's where I found that Mount Olympus, and I was like, "What the hell?" At the bottom. And then here's my creepy GB. This thing is ugly, and it doesn't smell very good. But where it went, it went sideways. It went poof, and it just vanished. It just went poof, gone, like ceased to exist, straight out of existence. So I mean, there's nothing to fear there. It's just if anybody has any idea about like the timing, like when we go different places, I guess the Bible does say a day is 1,000 years, is 1,000 years is a day. So I guess if we went further, then we would be like more time would pass on Earth than where we're at. And does it have that problem with space too? Like they don't age as fast, and then they'll come home and they'll be a little younger than they were, than what they're supposed to be if they were still here, like astronauts, and when they take off. I didn't need a ship or nothing like that. I just took off with the thing. It kind of surprised me is how come I didn't go into the vanishing point, because I jumped in there too, because I wanted to make sure that that thing was gone, long gone, way gone, stay gone, day gone, and it was. But I came back. I'm wondering if it's because I still had a physical body here, or what the deal was. You guys know anything about that? I'm all ears. So I guess I can see if anybody wants to come in and share if they got any information. I'm going to stop sharing on that. And let me see if I can put this in there. Paste. I'm not going to stay on very much longer though, because I've only been on an hour. But if somebody wants to come in and visit and talk about this stuff and has experience with it, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll just zip it up, because I want to do this in palatable pieces. I just was very shocked that I found that article and the picture is so similar to the one that I saw. It freaked me out. Like somebody else has seen this darn thing, and it's not friendly. This to me is a byproduct. It's a byproduct of stacking, diseased, harmed, hurt, or inflicting, created something else that's not very friendly. Because as I was, moving it and pushing it, beings were coming out of it, falling out, going back. Maybe the erase is like erased because it never did exist. Something like along those lines. I don't know. I know the second one we took out, there was three others with me in that one. I wasn't alone, and we took it out. And when we were walking back, we were discussing, and the one individual said, "I didn't even think there was demons," and I said, "Neither did I," and we just couldn't believe it because I don't believe in them. It's just not a part of my belief structure. So every time you think you might have something, something's gonna come up and kick you in the butt and say, "Hey, wake up! You know, here you're gonna have to deal with this now." And he said, "I don't know if it came from the Beyond Quantum Healing session with my friend that I wasn't gonna give up until that thing let go and left him alone." Um, and then I kind of hit their radar or something. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, except for I'm glad I was able to get through it. It's, mm. I mean, I don't know what to say about it anymore. There's so much that happened. There's so much to share. There's so much to tell you guys about. But at the same time, there's so many things that I don't want to tell you guys about because it's fantastical. It's too hard. It's too hard of a pill to swallow. Even though I'm going through it, I don't know what I would think. I don't know what I would think about somebody else that would be talking about this stuff. So, anyways, I hope that this helped you. If you come across these beings, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Take them out as far as you can. I mean, like away from populations and take them as far out as you can. Somebody will be out there to pick it up for you because it seems to always have like a divine purpose, and they'll take it the rest of the way because it wasn't violent. I mean, I say I whack it, but I do. I kind of just give it a pat, and then I jump, and then back. I hit it again, and then I jump, and it knocks that thing. I called it a succubus, but it knocked it really far. It kind of shocked me at the very, very end with the last drop when it broke into 3 pieces, and it was a succubus and 2 demons, and it disappeared. I still went up there one more good shove for good measure because I didn't want to deal with it again. And I was like, well, I'm going to take a rest. I'm exhausted. And then that happened. I was like, oh, what the heck just happened? And I came back in. A lot of time had passed. I was like, oh, shoot. Where the heck did I go and how far? Uh-oh. Did I make a oopsie daisy by going that far out? But thank goodness we were able to come back. But the good news is, like I said, there's more of us making it through. And if we're going out that direction, to go ahead and remove some things that we don't want, we're going to cross that path of when it was shut down. Everything was shut down and restarted as paradise quicker because it's already done. Does that make sense? So that's something optimistic to look forward to because it is already done. I was there. I seen it. I seen it for myself. It was gorgeous. Paradise got locked up because those things were still out there running around. But that doesn't mean paradise stayed locked up. You know what I mean? And there's more than one paradise, by the way, you guys. There's tons of them. Tons of them all throughout. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to share today. I'll get more into all the different earths, and I'll get more into to explain to you guys what the heck all these are that attach. And I put one in a couple of them, like this one has one, and this one has one, but they all have them, and I'll explain to you guys what the heck that is too. And just be well and take care of yourselves. Know that you're loved, and I miss you guys, and I'm gonna try and get some more content out when I'm not so tongue tied on it. I mean, I don't know. Like I told you, my little favorite pianist, I was like, how do you tell somebody anything about this stuff? How can you share an experience so people aren't afraid of it without scaring the crap out of them? And it's too fantastical for me. Because I'm right. I'm not right brain. I'm not an artist. I'm not right brain at all. I'm left brain. I was like an accountant and an office manager. I'm a very left brain being. So this kind of stuff, I struggle. I was like, "Ooh, no, this can't be possible. My logical mind is rejecting it, even though it happened. I think that's a big part of it. And like I said, I was telling her the other day, I'm like, I don't know what I would say to somebody if they told me that they've been through this. I don't know what I would say. I mean, I probably think, man, I'd probably tell my little pianist friend and whisper in her ear, hey, man, this lady's crazy. And because of its way out there. But like I said, who knows how I got into that arena and had to do what I had to do, whatever. Everything's got a divine appointment. There's a reason for everything. But that BQH session, I had a couple of BQH sessions where I ran into some unfriendlies. Is how I put it. It may just be their job. I think it's their job to do that. But it's my job to go in there and tell you to get the hell out of there and leave that person alone and let them be healthy and whole. And I may have hit the radar that way because I guess what there was Loki and I call him Dagon. I'll have to look it up. I don't know why I call him Dagon or Marduk. Marduk with red hair. A redheaded Marduk and a little Joker. And it because I had both of them over here harassing the crap out of me, and they're not very nice. And I'm going to be honest with you, the Joker guy, the Loki, the little trickster, he's worse. He's worse than the other guy. The other guy, no. I mean, he doesn't talk as much, but that Joker guy is vicious, and he thinks it's funny, and that's the scary part. He thinks it's funny to hurt people that way, and no, thank you. Okay. Anyways, you guys remember always to share what you know and listen so you can grow. I hope you got something from this, and I'll leave the link for the article in the description box if you want to look that up. And then the images that I provided to you of the earths and that I call it a succubus. And I just couldn't believe how close it was to the other one. And this is we're here for each other. Just be here for each other, and we'll keep moving forward. All right, peace. I'll talk to you soon.